guys, yeah, I'm back. I know it's been a while, but here we are. I guess if you followed me on Instagram, you'd know where I've been, so follow me on Instagram. So basically, yeah, I've been MIA for about maybe two, 3 years. Okay, it's been years actually. It has been years, because the last video I did was things we should leave in 2016, and it is now 2018. Absolute madness. So quick update, I'm now in 4th year. I have changed settings, as you can see. I'm at my uni room, and yeah, that's all I got. I decided to restart this channel. What gave me the push is that loads of people, thank you very much, have been commenting on my pharmacy videos, asking me questions, and I've also been getting Instagram DMs and stuff like that. And I've realized that, you know what, there isn't really that much like YouTubers who talk about pharmacy. Like, there's loads for medicine and loads for like nursing and other subjects, but in terms of pharmacy, I think there's kind of like somewhat a gap. So I decided to just make some videos on pharmacy really, and we're gonna start today with applying for pharmacy. The way I applied for pharmacy is different. So but I came through pharmacy through clearing, because pharmacy isn't always what I wanted to do, but that's a different subject, different topic. In fact, I didn't even know that I wanted to do pharmacy, but different video for a different time. If you want to watch it, if you want to know about it, then let me know. Yeah, so you're doing your GCSEs, about to do your GCSEs, and you want to know what subjects can I pick to become a pharmacist, right? Because you are like a 13-year-old kid who has their life together and already knows what they want to be. I would say pick science subjects. So pick, you know, your physics, your chemistry, your biology. Not so much physics, but chemistry, biology, you can pick those. But in terms of applying for pharmacy, so what would you do if you had just come out of A levels, or you just come out of GCSEs, wanting to know what to do? So basically, the first step to becoming a pharmacist is to have an M.Pharm degree. An M.Pharm degree is a master's in pharmacy, which is why I'm in my 4th year, because now I'm doing my master's in pharmacy. So basically, the way you apply to this is you have to have A levels, but not necessarily. You can have, I think you can have BTECs or A level equivalents as well. They accept it. It can vary, and also support in GCSEs. So each university changes with its entry requirements, and you will need to check the university for their entry requirements to know exactly what you need to get in your A levels or A level equivalent to apply. So I'm sure there's a link, I'm not sure, but if there is, I'll put it down below where you can have a look at the entry requirements for pharmacy. So obviously you need to aim for as high as possible. What I would say is just aim for as high as possible. If you can get A, get A. Get A star, get A star. Just do the best that you can in your A levels or A level equivalent, in your GCSEs and A level equivalents. Just do the best that you can, really. And that goes for any subject, even if you're not doing pharmacy. So some courses specify, so some want chemistry specifically, like an A level in chemistry or something to do with chemistry, or like an A level in biology. Some of them really want those. Maths as well. For me, I did chemistry, physics, maths and biology. Those are the A levels that I did. So I kind of had it all covered in a way when I was applying for pharmacy. So your application. So when you do your application, you send it off through UCAS, you write a personal statement and all that kind of thing. UCAS, okay, that might be something else, a video I could do about applying through UCAS, if that's something that you want me to do. But your application. So after you send off your application, you send off your UCAS to the university. You normally will get invited for an interview. Most universities do interview for pharmacy. I know some of mine was different because, like I said, I applied through clearing, so I had a phone interview, but my friends had multiple mini interviews as well, so that's where you have different stations and they ask you questions. Some of them had like one-on-one interviews, so you most likely will get called for an interview if your application is good. So then they will ask you questions, probably talk about is experience. So if you've ever had any experience in a pharmacy, that would be good. You can talk about things that you saw. But even if it's not experience in a pharmacy, for example, if you're working in McDonald's, you could talk about teamwork, you could talk about all the things that you learned about leadership and solving problems and all those kind of things. So any kind of experience that you have would be really, really good for your interview. I'm checking my phone, that's why I keep on looking down. Yeah, so also the UCAS website allows you to search for courses and their requirements, so I'll put that down below. So another way you can also get into pharmacy, for example, if you've already chosen your A-levels and they don't have chemistry, you don't have biology, you don't have maths or anything like that, and you just decided that you actually want to do pharmacy, but you know your A-levels or whatever are not anything to do with that, you can also take a foundation year, which is possible, a foundation year into pharmacy. So you do subjects like maths, and you do subjects like maths, chemistry, biology, those kind of things in uni, and if you're successful in your foundation degree, then you can switch to the MPharm program. So after you've done your 4 years, your first, second, third, fourth year, your first, second and third, and then your master's year, which is your 4th year, you then do your pre-reg year. So what I'm going to do as well is I'm going to do a video probably on every year, at least what my experience was like on every year so far, and then probably do one about the 4th year when I finish. But in your 4th year, then you apply to pharmacy. So your 5th year, so in your 5th year, it's a pre-registration year, that's what it's called, and basically you will learn, in that year you learn how to be a pharmacist. So you have a pre-registration tutor, which is a qualified pharmacist, and they basically teach you how to run as a pharmacist, because in uni you learn about the science behind it, you learn about pharmacology, you learn about the law, but the pre-reg year actually allows you to practically be a pharmacist, see how it is, because the things that you learn in uni are not necessarily what happens in real practice. So the pre-registration year allows you to just pull all those 4 years together and actually become a pharmacist. So in your pre-registration year, at the end of it, you have an exam. I think I mentioned it in my last video, but I'll just say it again. You have an exam which you write regarding what you learned last year, well, what you learned during your pre-registration year. Yeah, and then if you pass it, then you're a qualified pharmacist. If you don't, then you can retake it. I'm not too sure how many times you can retake it and what necessarily you need to do, but I will find that out. I can find out if you want to, and then I can put it in a video as well. So you take your pre-registration year. So in 4th year, basically, so when you're doing your masters, so between your 4th year and your 3rd year, actually, so like what I was in during the summer, between my 3rd year and my 4th year, you apply for your pre-reg place through a system called Oriel. So Oriel is quite new. It's the same system I think that medics use for their foundation year, and they just literally implemented it into pharmacy as well. Before, you used to apply individually to your pharmacies that you want to go to, but now most pharmacies are through Oriel. At least all the hospitals are through Oriel. So Oriel is for England and Wales. So yeah, almost all hospitals you apply through Oriel. Most pharmacies are in the Oriel system, but some they have individual places outside, so you can apply directly to the community pharmacy if you want. But I will also do a video explaining more about Oriel and the system and how to do it, because it is quite new, so not many people really understand what's going on with it. So I will do a video on that. So then you do your pre-reg year, you do your pre-reg exam, and then you're a qualified pharmacist and you've made it. And there we are, you're done. So So that is basically pharmacy, applying to pharmacy, how to get into pharmacy, how to become a pharmacist kind of thing. And then after pharmacy, there's also other things you can do, like your clinical diploma, your prescribing course, all that kind of stuff, but different video. But anyway, this was the pharmacy course in the UK. I'm not sure how it's like in America or whatever. I'm assuming it's different. So yeah, that's it. So thank you for watching my YouTube video. I will be back with more on pharmacy, more on pharmacy. I'll see you in my next video. Goodbye.